Hey, good morning, George. Morning, David. Morning, Francois. Good morning, everybody. How's it going? CPI is out. The market freed up the market to move. Kind of said I expected a higher high as we broke higher. Said that for the last 2 days, and here we are, higher high. It's not rocket surgery. Rocket science. It's not. It's just charting. And amazing, right? I thought it would, last night during 30 Minutes of Awesome. If you haven't watched that, maybe you should go watch it after this. I mentioned that CPI was going to free up the market to move. Kind of had this pent up expectation. And then PPI tomorrow, another opportunity to move. And then on Friday, consumer sentiment, yet another opportunity to move. This allows realized volatility to hit the market, which, if you look at that candle on ES this morning, I don't think you can argue that was a volatile sucker, even though VIX is probably plummeting out the basement, because when S&P goes up, VIX tends to not go up. So, hey, Andres, Jacques, good morning, everybody. All right. If you want to chat with me while I'm live, all you got to do is hit the subscribe button over there. And, I guess it's right down there where the monster is. If you click that, a few seconds later, you can chat. Otherwise, if you're watching this after I'm no longer live, you have to leave me a message below. And if you want to come chat with me live all day, all you have to do is be, a member of one of my services. And $5, links in the description. Click the link for Market Roadmap. That's super cheap. Yeah, I'll give you tons of value for that. Indicator, all the stuff. So, morning Valerie, morning Al, morning everybody. Glad to see you. All right, so kicking it off, as always, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. I may never predict another move in the market ever again. I may be completely full of crap. Remember, this presentation right here, intended to be informational, educational, and fun, is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument or anything else. I don't even buy the market roadmap thing. Just come back here every morning and I'll give you this free market analysis. On Tuesdays, if you want to make requests, you can come at 5 p.m. and make requests. That's what 30 Minutes of Awesome is all about. If you desire personal financial advice based on your situation, in the United States anyway, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor, not a robo-advisor, like an actual financial advisor. So be careful out there. The AIs are trying to herd us all into certain trades. And we can see it in the markets and take advantage of it if you know what to look for. Hey, Sledge, morning. Back in New Orleans, huh? It's kind of funny. We make a joke around here going to LA, and LA is lower Alabama, not Louisiana or Los Angeles. Anyway, moving on. Oop, I just closed the calendar. That was awesome. That was awesomely stupid. Let's go back to Forex factory calendar. There we go. Rolling down. CPI right here came in light. Year over year, come in light. And core CPI came in light. All, if you want to say it, beating the expectation to the low side. I think they're all cooked numbers anyway. So, Harry, Kevin, Jason, welcome. Good morning. If anybody happens to be new, please shout it out that you're new in the chat. I'd love to welcome a new person to the live stream. All right. Morning, Dan. So, what do I expect tomorrow? Well, based on this, we're probably going to see PPI come in light too tomorrow. The odds of a Fed rate raise are pretty high right now for July. And consumer sentiment on Friday, I think that's going to come in light also. I don't think our consumer sentiment is very strong right now. I'm seeing a lot of, you see the reports that Disney World is, basically empty. Very few people there over July 4th and, this week too. I mean, I've seen pictures, people middle of the day, usually when it's crowded person to person everywhere. The the streets of Disney are empty. That doesn't jive with everything's rosy in the Bidenomics. Everybody's doing better than ever picture. So yeah, inflation is still rising. That's still rising inflation right there. 3% is still 3%. We're down from the rocking 8.9%, but 3% still 3%, and we'll never see the numbers that they, the headlines will never tell what they revise this to later. So yeah, don't believe your lying eyes. Yeah. If you watch I've only watched a couple clips of the long Tucker Carlson thing that came out, and his interview with Tate was kind of amusing. At least the clips that people were posting. So, don't believe your lying eyes. The sky is, you can look up and see the sky is blue, but if they tell you the sky is green, do you believe that the sky is green? I mean, anyway, headlines. Don't believe the news. News is the worst thing you can react to as a trader. Number one, most detrimental thing. So we are looking at S&P 500, and this is the actual cash index, so it's not moving. But that 45.99 looking like we might go up there. That might be the path. Remember, we can get a turn down at any point here. We don't have to actually hit the extension at 45.99, but the pattern's the pattern, and it's a likely move, but then we'll be in for a deeper correction. And we are very extended on this move off the March 13th bottom. I think everybody here has heard it ad nauseum, unless you are brand new to the live stream. Yeah, maybe it's the groomer culture. Maybe it's our consumer can't afford Disney or chooses not to afford Disney. I mean, it's kind of two different things. They're not. I mean, neither one's being talked about. I think it was the Wall Street Journal story was that it's Disney. Disney is letting less people in the park so that people have a better experience at the park. I call bullshit on that. Anyway, just a ridiculous analysis. Why would Disney not cram as many people into that park as they possibly can? Just like they always have. So, moving on. Let's pop on to the Morning Monster, not the... Hey, Pat, morning. So, ES, nice, beautiful, big pop. And we'll zoom it up here. Look at that, rocking right up out of the top. That's a higher high. That's all we needed. Higher high. Beautiful. When can this roll over? Well, that's a good question. Let's kind of run a little fib analysis here. Delete a few lines. Help clean this up. And we got the pullback from here to here. Looks like next resistance 45.22 and then 45.52. That'd be the two next resistance lines. Expect a move to here, and if it does the classic thing, we may see a pullback to the breakout point and then a rally back up to here. All right, that's kind of the... This one did bounce right off of that 1272 extension to the downside. This could bounce right off of that and get a deeper retrace also. There's not really a clear set of waves in here. Just one big move up, and at some point this is going to run out of steam. So, hey Kimberly, morning my dear, my bride Larry Jackson, good morning. Don't recognize your name. Michael, welcome. Jason. So yeah, Disney, a horrible... I keep predicting we're going further down on DIS, the actual stock. So NASDAQ getting close, but still no higher high. We've got a ways to go up here. We may break the high that we had on the 5th, but we still got a ways to go to break the high on the 16th. And if we don't break that, that's a bearish pattern for a deeper retrace. So watch that resistance up there. If we turn down before we get higher, Now, if we do go on some crazy extension, let's run that real quick and pull this over to the actual low. We could head up to 15,645-ish, possibly 15,859. You're like, JT, how do I find the QQQ price? Since this is NASDAQ, well, you just divide by 41 and we can get it right here. So that QQQ price, roughly 381, roughly. Maybe a few bucks, few points difference. There's a slight difference between these futures prices and the ETFs. So there you go. There you go. All right. RTY, Russell, breaking out, getting the first target. Next target up, 1991. And we may get a pullback off of one of these levels. So this is getting extended here. Classic would be after the open, we see this deep retrace that might jive with opening bell alerts, and then pop up here. Now it can just go up there. It doesn't have to retrace, but keeping an eye on a reversal after the open on Russell. Oil pushing on higher, getting near that roadmap line on the daily. Let's zoom this puppy back up where we can actually see what's happening. So getting close, and turn the roadmap line back on right at the bottom. Getting a little, looks like we touched it and pulled back just slightly. If we can get above it, probably going on up here to 80, possibly 83. That would be the target off of this pattern right here. I am long USO, looking for that move. I am. Gold finally hitting the 1950 alerts I had and sitting right at 1950. I want to see it above 1950, not just parked at 1950. So kind of waiting to see what happens when the market opens. If we get some extension higher, might be game on. Now, more conservatively, you want to wait for a move up through 2000. But, 50 points is, from my risk tolerance, that's, I'd be willing to get in above 1950 here. This is kind of a confirmation level for me. And if we start rolling down, I'm going to be playing long term. I'm not playing weeklies or, even a month out or something like that. I'm going to be playing longer term. And you may, JT, what's longer term? Well, just if we echo the prior move, we're looking out to September here. So I'm probably going to go longer than that, at least December, maybe January next year, looking for that 2,000, 2,100, 2,100, 2,100, 2,200 level way up here. 2,100 would be kind of disappointing. 22 really, 21, let's see, 2,150 to 2,200. That's really the ideal target for this next move on gold. Bitcoin showing a little strength here, but still not breaking out yet. It's positive, but keep holding the, we're just keep consolidating. So this is like winding it up. This is almost the same as the watermelon seed squeeze, except this is kind of like a bullish consolidation in a range, and the range is expanding, which shows that it's likely to pop, and it may go right on through that target and head right on up to some loftier targets up 35, possibly echo the move we did from back in March up to 39. That would be pretty crazy, but this sucker can move really fast in a few days. So, and it would be an echo of the move if we did that by the 21st of July, maybe slightly longer, but that's what it's looking like right there. I mean, look at that move right there. That's just an echo of the move. Right from there. Right like that. Pulled right over here. Can it do it? Sure as blanket can. All right. Ethereum not looking nearly as bullish. And why am I using the futures? Just because I've got crap drawn all over the spot markets on those. And these charts are a little cleaner. So futures still looking kind of bearish, and looks like it may roll over on Ethereum. Dollar continuing the drop. Extension 99.85-ish. Right at 100. Then if we can get the extension on down, 98, possibly down here around the mid 90s. Then I'll have to see. Then we're gonna then we're going to reevaluate where it might move next. If we get all the way down in there, it's going to take a while to consolidate again. You know, this one consolidated for April, May, June, and partly into July. Now making a move again. Watch for any kind of support at that prior low, but probably going down to retest the 1272 extension on the downside. Stuff actually moving today. Alt, look at that nice little pop, but that's a garbage chart right there. I mean, I don't care how many 100% that is up in the pre-market. That is a dangerous freaking garbage chart right there. How low can it go? 0 is how low it can go. SOS, nice little pop there. That's a 3-wave move and could be, is that a reverse split? Yeah, 50 for 1. Yikes. That's a bearish move, especially if it stops at 1120 right there. If it stops there and turns down, watch out below. Probably going lower than it did right there. I mean, that splits are not bullish, and that it split 50 for 1 and went lower down to 250. That would be bearish if it stopped there and go lower than 250. Possibly it could get up to, you know, could be doing some sort of bullish move, get up to like 16, maybe 22, but God, I wouldn't put your money on this. I really wouldn't. Holly, yeah, maybe pulling is that Holly like, you know, auto parts? Yeah. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of carburetors being sold these days. They need to pull out an electronic carburetor for EVs, I guess. That's a joke. Anyway, where might she go? That's a bullish move. Right up in here. Pull back to the roadmap line. Launch off. Don't know what their plan is. DPZ. Opening bell in just a moment. Looks like. A few seconds. There we go. DPZ popping up. Beautiful. Got resistance right here. You know, we're beating that high. Resistance right there. And that's not the one. That is not the line I wanted to move. Down the ultimate low. This is right up off the low. Hardly no pullback. MGPI breaking above the aggressive entry here. If you've been watching Market Roadmap, links in the description. That's an aggressive entry, more conservative up here above 114, looking for 135, 147. That's a pretty good one. Put another alert up here. And moving on. SPWR. Yeah, look at that, right to the bottom of the box. Right to the bottom of the box. I'm not sure where I drew my line from, but beautiful. That can reverse here, but that's a bearish chart, so be careful. I would not pick a reversal yet. Just kind of taking a second to take it all in here. Yeah, that's really bearish at this point, and below the 786 level, how low can she go? She can go down the toilet. You can come all the way back to these lows. Be careful. CWEB. China is dangerous. Please be careful. That can go lower for sure. CNK. Nice little pop, Cinemark, but that's kind of stuck. I mean, look at that. Look at the resistance at this level. Look how long it's been consolidating in that level. Even back to there. You think it's got some stuff to work through? I do. May not be able to get out of here, and even if it does, it may come right back down. So I would be careful chasing that one. When's the last time you've been to a Cinemark theater? Unless it's the one right next to your house. Probably not very often. Anyway. YINN, 3x bull shares. Popping a little bit, but that's still a very bearish chart. GDXU. Again, that's a 3x leverage. Be careful on leverage right there. Be careful. Leverage stuff does not always move according to the plan. This did a reverse split, 1 for 10. That's not usually bullish. This thing can go lower. GREE. Still stuck below the roadmap line. Got resistance right there. SDIG. We're kind of stuck at the roadmap line. Look at that. Stopped right. Came right up to it. Stopped so far. Pushing on up. Could be bullish, but right now it probably needs a pullback at some point here. That doesn't really count in my book. This was a reverse split 10 for 1. Be careful. Those are not bullish. We did go lower low after we did that, and it can keep going lower. FNGR. There you go. Sledge has been to a Cinemark. Like I said, unless it's right next to your house, I haven't been to one. Regal kind of runs the town here. Used to be headquartered here before they got bought out by the European company. So, FNGR, finger motion right up at the resistance here. This closing just a little higher, right up above 842. Sets it up to go to 12, possibly 15 on the upside. I have had a target right up here for a long time, and it may go do it. May go do it. That was a beautiful move up, retrace to the roadmap line right there. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. So, higher low, 1260. And then if we do the potential, oh yeah, way up here. Looks like those lines are already up there somewhere. Could come up all the way up to 37, possibly 91. That would be ridiculous, but could do it. Billy, that looks like garbage. It's safe to buy stuff. It's never safe to buy stuff. I wouldn't buy anything. Never make a recommendation to buy or sell anything. AVGO. That looks cooked. Probably going to get a retrace at some point here. Tesla. Again, despite a little pop pre-market, looks like we're getting some. We are down off the high, and this can go all the way back down to 220. NVIDIA. Popping back up after some churn yesterday. It's going to roll over at some point. Whether it's here or up at 460, or we're going to get an outsized pullback. I give more credence to a pullback than continuation higher. Be careful chasing that one. All right. Netflix, probably going to fill the gap up to this gap from back here in 2022 last year. Probably going to fill that gap at 500 at some point. They got about 60 points left to go. MSTR, watch out for a retrace. This thing's getting cooked. 450 above that. It does have some loftier targets. We talked about those last night on 30 Minutes of Awesome. Go watch that video. I talked about it a little more in depth, but we're getting cooked here, and I do expect an outsized retrace. All right, we had an echo right here, right to the roadmap line, held it. This did the roadmap pattern, the high probability pattern. It's done. I'm off of this one for now. Baidu, just sitting in between the resistance and the support, not doing much. That could be a bullish breakout, could finish this head and shoulders pattern, and then get a crazy move up to like 345. But it's just not there yet. Not there yet. Now, if all of a sudden China says, hey, our COVID problems are all solved and everything's back to beautiful. Like, this thing may go kapow. But not yet. It's not cooked yet. Silk, that looks pretty bad. That's a big gap down 22%. Like I say, be careful on these biotechs and medical specialties. They can just fall out of bed and ouch. Be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. All right, bias for the day. Up for now. Cautious, highly cautious. Highly cautious on these levels here. 45.22. Pull it up where we can see it. Probably put it back on a 30 minutes so it's a little more clear. Right here. Pull it down. There we go. 45.22. Getting close. And then 45.52. May do this. Check mark pattern. May do it. But there's your upside resistance for now. And on the S&P 500 chart, yeah, chugging right up. Could be headed to 45.99 on the simplified daily close chart. Be careful. At some point, we're going to get an outsized retrace, but probably not today. All right. Have a great one. Have a great one, everybody. We are still cooking the numbers here. This the longer we extend the bull run, the higher the likelihood of a larger retrace we're going to see. The more days we keep ticking, adding to the chalkboard, the bigger the retrace is going to be. Be careful out there. Book profits quickly. I would not be adding to long-term positions right now, except on strategic things like gold and maybe some Bitcoin into the halving event. That's going to be an epic play. I'll see you later. Remember, that was no recommendation to do anything. That was just some ideas. So have a great day, everybody. I'll see you later. I'm going over to Discord.